Hi, it's Sylvester. If you don't know what's going on, here's a very, very short version of what happened. Blake Lively is an actress. She was sort of canceled. There was a big hate train going on. Like, a lot of people were really hating on Blake Lively, and people were digging up stuff from her past to use against her. And then Blake sued Justin Baldoni for sexual harassment, and then it turned out that Justin Baldoni is the one who had Blake Lively canceled because he hired a PR company to cancel her, to try to ruin her career and her reputation so that people wouldn't believe her when she inevitably came forward with the accusations. Justin Baldoni hired the same PR company that Johnny Depp hired to ruin Amber Heard's career and reputation. So that is basically, you're pretty much all caught up now if you didn't know what was going on. I do want to say that in a previous video, in one of my Smash or Pass videos, I mentioned the fact that Blake Lively was being hated on by a lot of people. I didn't say whether or not I agreed with it, but I did say jokingly that her husband Ryan Reynolds is probably going to get canceled any day now, and it was a joke. And I passed Ryan Reynolds because I basically am an annoying contrarian who needs to not like people who are very widely liked, because Ryan Reynolds is liked by everybody. Everybody loves Ryan Reynolds, so the contrarian in me needed to pass him just for that reason. But just so you know, I don't actually think that Ryan Reynolds is like a bad guy, and I don't actually think he's going to get canceled. I mean, he might. I don't know. Everybody's getting canceled. I'm sorry. I don't want to be that guy who's like, cancel culture, it's out of control, am I right? But like, it really does kind of seem like everybody's getting canceled all over the place, and so I'm sure somebody somewhere is going to find a reason to hate Ryan Reynolds, and it's going to become a hate train. But basically, I just wanted to point out that when I brought up Blake Lively having been canceled and the fact that people were hating on her, I was not saying that I agreed with that, because I didn't really agree with that. As far as being canceled goes, like, I think Blake Lively really didn't do anything cancelable. I mean, it's not like she didn't do anything cancelable. It's just like my bar for like what it takes to cancel a person is so high that I feel like she didn't murder anyone. She's not a rapist. She didn't abuse any children. She wasn't accused of abuse. She wasn't accused of sexual assault or assault of any kind. She wasn't accused of anything like really, really bad. And that's what I mean when I say like she didn't really even do anything worth being canceled over, because my standards for what it takes to get canceled are pretty high. Like, I will defend people for doing stupid human things, because people do stupid human things. We all mess up. We all make mistakes. We all do things we regret. We all put our feet. We all put our feet in our mouths sometimes. Saying that in the plural form sounds weird, but we've all put our foot in our mouth at one point or another in our life, and we've all said or done things that make us seem kind of mean or whatever. Like, we've all done stupid things, and so I try to give celebrities grace and allow them to make mistakes and to be flawed. As long as they haven't done anything like truly horrific, then I'm willing to give them a pass most of the time. And even some celebrities who have been accused of doing some pretty awful stuff, I still defend, because I'm just that kind of person. Again, I'm a little bit contrarian, and I just need to stand up for people, because I feel like I've done a lot of messed up stuff in my life, and I want people to stand up for me, and I want people to still support and like me. So again, my bar for what it takes to get canceled, pretty freaking high. And Blake Lively, I watched a video back when everybody was hating on her before she made the lawsuit. I watched a video explaining why everybody hated her, because I couldn't understand what exactly she had done to make people hate her. And I mean, basically, there was a bunch of she didn't really handle she was in a movie about domestic violence, and she didn't really handle the topic super delicately. She made a couple faux pas in terms of how she promoted the movie and how she spoke about the movie and stuff like that, which again, that seems just like stupid human stuff, that's really not that bad. Honestly, that's like not a reason to lose your career or to have people hate you en masse, you know? And then like probably the worst thing that I saw that she did was she like called an interviewer pregnant, or like implied that an interviewer was pregnant, but that interviewer was not pregnant. So she was just calling her fat. And then it turns out that this interviewer couldn't have children. And so it was like, that was a really big put your foot in your mouth kind of moment. But again, that's just kind of like a stupid human thing. We all make mistakes. We all say dumb things sometimes. And I'm sure Blake, when she found out that this interviewer had issues with not being able to get pregnant, I'm sure Blake felt really bad about it. But like, you know, like that's really not that bad. Of all of the reasons to get canceled, that's really not that bad. And there was like one interview that Blake had done where she was just like kind of mean to the interviewer for seemingly no reason, and it's like maybe she was just having a bad day, you don't know, maybe she didn't like the interviewer because the interviewer was being inappropriate off camera or something. Like, you have no idea the situation or the circumstances, you know? So that's another thing where I'm just like, whatever, she was like kind of rude to an interviewer. That's not a reason to lose your career and have people hate you. Like, really, it's not that big of a deal, honestly. And so it seems to me like the reason why people hated and still continue to hate Blake Lively is because she, quote unquote, just kind of seems like a mean girl. Which is a dumbass reason to be canceled, honestly. Again, like, if somebody's getting canceled, they better have done something real bad. They better have sexually assaulted someone or, like, punched a child or something. You know what I mean? Like, like, you can't just get canceled and just be hated because you just kind of put off the vibes of a mean girl. Like, big deal, she seems like she's kind of mean. Like, there are a lot of celebrities who seem like they're kind of mean, and this same thing happened to Taylor Swift. Everybody hated her because she just seemed like a mean girl. And to me, what that translates to is she's a pretty blonde white girl who reminds people of the girls in high school who bullied them. And so you have to hate her because she's a popular pretty white blonde girl, and that means that she's probably mean. And it is kind of a stereotype, if you ask me. Like, the fact that people think she's a mean girl just because she was like mean to one interviewer one time and said a mean thing to another interviewer another time. It's like, you know, it's like you're really jumping to conclusions. People say mean things sometimes. That doesn't mean that they're overall mean. That doesn't mean that they are just bad people and that you should hate them. And this is something that I said about Tana Mojo as well, is that we as a society, I know like pretty blonde white girls are not exactly the most discriminated against group of people on the planet. I get that. And there's white privilege and like there's pretty privilege, and I understand that. But also, we as a society do really like to hate on pretty white blonde girls. It's just kind of a thing because we just assume that they're mean girls, and because they remind us of the girls in high school who wouldn't date us or who bullied us, and so we just hate them. And I really think it's kind of bullshit. Like, I don't know. I don't understand why people hate Blake Lively. It just seems really dumb. And the PR team clearly did a really good job of turning people against her, but it really kind of frustrates me how easy it is to turn people against someone. Like, if that's all it takes is a couple of bad interviews and not talking about domestic violence in the most, like, PC, like, way possible, like, just, like, mishandling a dark subject matter, like, if that's really all it takes to get canceled in this world, then we really need to higher our standards, not lower. What's the opposite of lowering our standards? We need to heighten our standards. That sounds wrong, but you know what I mean. We need to have higher standards for like canceling people, or like lower. I guess we have lower standards. We need to have lower standards for our celebrities. We need to allow them to be humans and allow them to make mistakes without it costing them their career and their reputation. Because, like, holy crap, Blake made some mistakes. She fucked up a couple times. It's really not that big of a deal. She didn't handle the subject matter very delicately. It's really not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? It's really not. Yeah, I don't know. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Stay frosty. Bye.